welcome back to Let's Play Terrafirmacraft. Here is our family of cows. Boy, they look so different. They look so unique, each of them. I wonder if after the females give birth, they shrink in size a little bit. By the way, I died, so that's why I'm putting my clothes back on here. I left the game running, standing on this bridge last night, and the zombie or somebody came up and pushed me off and killed me in the process. I think it was the monster attack that killed me, not the fall. Anyway, our charcoal's done. Not sure why this fell in, but yeah, there we go. Look at that. That is going to be charcoal. So we will get to harvesting that in just a minute, but I need to grab for sure a nice shovel first because our little stone shovels just aren't going to do it. So we'll run over here. By the way, our water there filled up, as you might have noticed last episode. Okay, so shovel. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, okay, bronze shovel. So charcoal is one of two types of coal in the game, but it's the easiest to come by. Well, that's actually not true. I think a lot of people would actually say the bituminous coal or lignite, which is both of which are mined, are easier forms of copper to come across. Okay, so we're just gonna decapitate the top of this. Now I'm gonna leave the base layer of dirt on this so that I can remind myself that I can use this again if I need to create more charcoal. But this will give us enough charcoal to get us at least into the I don't want to say to the Iron Age, but it'll get us quite a bit. As you can see here, basically what that log burning did was it converted all of that wood into this charcoal, and it's a little bit inconsistent, and that's one of the cool things about it. Just like real life, you get different amounts in different places, and then you just harvest it with a shovel, preferably. If you have, you can do it by hand, but it takes forever. But there's quite a bit here, so I'm just going to mine this out and probably store it somewhere for now, but we're going to need at least a part of it for what I want to do today. So I kind of hinted at this last time, and you know, there's other things we could be doing, of course. I probably need to be tending to the remaining crops, and I need to be putting things in the cellar and that sort of thing. Pickling, I really should always be pickling. There's really no reason not to, frankly. But I want to kind of play around with this Udary mod that I mentioned. By the way, I was looking up, I thought Udary might have had some sort of functional name, like this is what the process of extracting silver from galena is called, Udary process. No, it's actually named after the username of somebody on, I think, the TFC forums who had posted about, you know, why is galena useless? Let's finish out these metals. And yeah, it makes sense because there's about 3 or 4 different metals in this game and a number of other materials in general that are not used by the crafting recipes at all. So what this mod basically does is it takes ores that in real life actually extract to more elements than just one. Let's take galena, for example. Galena is a ore, it's a type of ore, but it is a combination of lead and silver. It's mostly lead, but it's got silver in it, so that's why we're extracting the silver from it. And this was a chemical process that I don't know for sure, but I assume it was commonly done prior to, probably maybe even to this day. So anyway, as you can see, these little charcoal things kind of take up horizontal planes blocks. And so, which is a really cool mechanic, and I like that. But you've got to, it does take a second to harvest them, I guess. But, you know, every good thing in life takes a little time to get where it needs to go. So, almost there. And by the way, you can make smaller charcoal pits. You can make a 3x3 if you wanted to. But you don't get nearly as much charcoal for it. Per capita. Like, honestly, the bigger the charcoal pit is, the more charcoal you're going to get per capita. So, you can even make them larger than the one I made. But this is a good starter size, because it does take quite a while to get the 30 piles of wood that you need to make this size of a charcoal pit. Okay, so we've got all the charcoal, which is great, and I am going to go ahead and leave this shape there. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to fill the rest of my dirt in down here, though. And that way, if I ever need it, I can always harvest it back from down here. But my intention long-term is to fill this area in anyway, so might as well get started with the dirt that I have now. Okay. So I ended up with 2.5 stacks, basically. Now, I'm going to just set this in here for now, even though it doesn't make any sense of why I would be setting it in here. I'm going to take that maze out, too. Yeah. I mean, if I really wanted to be productive today, I could milk these cows. I really need to remember that I got to feed the babies. Oh, and I realized something, too. I was reading the wiki, and familiarity with animals is created primarily through breeding. Okay, must have already done him. But for male cows, like this guy here, why can't I go out here? Oh. For male cows, you still have to sneak feed them, I think. Okay, so that's oh, is that a female? Gosh, this is so hard. I almost am half tempted to separate these guys into their own pens at some point because it's really hard to deal with them. That's female. Female, yes. Female. That's male, right? I don't know. I think that might be kind of a bug or something that's going on. But anyway, what I was going to say is that you gain familiarity with female cows simply by milking them. So if that's a female, why can't I milk anybody? I think the game is glitching out on me, actually. So I might as well do this on camera because even though it's a little bit sloppy, it helps you, the viewer, with when this happens to you. Just relog is what I do typically when this happens. It does happen from time to time. The animals get glitchy in particular. Sometimes I just leave the game on overnight, or not. Well, yeah, overnight, or just in the background, and you get these little bugs. Okay, so we're back. So, okay, there's a male right there. See, and that's a female. So, why can't I milk you? Not sure. Maybe after giving birth, they're too weak to get milked. Either way, I think, just good idea to familiarize and feed these cows as much as you can. Keep them comfortable with you. Milk them if you can. I'm not having any luck milking, but I suspect that will change after. Maybe you can't milk them when there are offspring because they're sucking up all the milk, as it were. Okay, 64, 42, 93, 92. The barley is really close. I really hope I get the barley because I'd like to make some beer. Just sounds tasty, doesn't it? Are any of these berries ready to go? Not seeing anything. I never can tell, though. Okay. And then the other thing I was going to do, well, I need to feed my sheep. All right, let's go do that real quick. Probably should use the bridge. I need to make a sheep farm for this place down here because, well, I just do. Okay, they are all very familiar with me. Very good. Okay. So anyway, sheep are fed. I could harvest the wool. I might as well do that. Do I have? Yeah. Let's harvest the wool. So I showed you this last time, and they're all in the mood for it right now. By the way, that reminds me, I need to make a spindle for my wool. I haven't done that yet in this game. I love that you can just go up to them and with a knife just grab their wool. I thought, and maybe it's a question of how much material you get per capita, but I know that there are still shears in this game, so I'm wondering what the distinction is. Okay, I got the 4. Very good. Okay, eat and grow your wool back. And both of the females there are pregnant, so that's good too. Okay, so what I was going to do, before I got to that, I need to run down here. And I have to do this yet again. Leave all that. And some of this is going to be combining, and most of it's just cutting off the decay, though. And sorry, I'm not talking much. This process is just a little bit annoying, just enough to be slightly annoying. Okay, can I put the onion up there? Yeah. No. Okay, let's do that. And let's combine these guys, and these guys, and these guys, and the carrots. Okay, oops. So now I should be able to get most of these down in there. And that can go in there, and good. Okay, and I think that is good there. And then we'll go up here with the rest of them. I'm going to start organizing these things better. Okay, so I know this is not the most exciting thing that you're going to see today in your TFC episode, so I apologize for what it's worth, but it must be done. It just, if you don't do it regularly, it just exacerbates the rate of decay, and that is not good. I should really make, I'm going to take 2 full stacks of lemons. Yeah, and make alcohol with them. Okay. And let's just get rid of all of these things except for the peaches and bananas. Okay, and then we'll combine the peaches. And we'll combine the bananas, if we can. I guess I can't. Okay. And that should take care of my fruits. And then meat. Okay. And then grains. And I've got some extra grains this time. So that's why, the main reason I wanted to visit. Yeah. I'll keep the maize. Boy, I am running low on space in this shelf. I guess what I'll do is I'll throw some temporarily on my meat shelf. No, yeah. Okay, and I'll keep the maize for my animals. Maize is just so easy. That's why I use it so much for feeding animals. You just don't have to process it at all. Okay, so, how did I end up with a javelin? Must have got it from a skeleton. Okay, now what? Oh, I know what. So, I'm going to show you how to do this Udary mod now. But one thing that I realized that I need to do to have everything that I need. So I realized that I made a mistake last time. And what I did was I created this mold, but I filled it with bronze. And what I really wanted to do was fill it with copper. So this thing is, for all intents and purposes, ruined because it was a item rod that I've ruined with a metal that doesn't go. I think, unless the game is bugged out. So I'm just going to throw that away. And we're going to try that one again. Because I think it was filling it with copper that made it permanent, or I'm sorry, with bronze that made it permanently unusable. So there's my clay rod mold. And that's fine. And then let me just double check the wiki because I want to make sure I don't screw this up. So yeah, there's your mold. And you have to make a ceramic mold, and then you can just fill the mold with copper and it will come out just like any other copper implement. Okay, so that's fine. So we're going to be doing that. And then I figured maybe we should also, during this burn, go ahead and make a Well, I need to get the copper itself. And then I was thinking I'll just make a few ingots too, right? So, oh, are my berries ready? Oh, they are. I always get so distracted. Berries are a great source of fruit. They're relatively small in their stature, but they're no worse than any other fruit. In fact, fruits in general seem to be a very productive way to get your fruit, or to get your food, your nutrition, because they always produce stuff, and they produce it every year without you having to tend to it, which is great. Yeah, raspberries, nothing. Okay, so I will put that downstairs as well, but for now, actually I better go start fermenting. So lemons will help me ferment, but I really need apples and stuff. You know what I could do is I really just need to make a bunch of booze. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to grab some more lemons because these are already starting to decay, which is crazy. And I'm going to grab the rest of my blackberries. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to make some whiskey. How about? So wheat grain. Do I have any other wheat grain? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. I really hate how quickly the food decays down in the cellar. I'm really not satisfied with that at all. Okay, so, I'm way distracted right now, and I acknowledge that. Come on. Right now, what I'm trying to do is get my wheat. Okay, so first thing I have to do to process... Oh, I need to do another... let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting distracted, but I really need to do that first before I do anything else. Get my grid back, and then what we'll do is we will process our wheat. This is going to give me a lot of straw, too, by the way. Into this wheat grain. And then... I can't remember if I do wheat flour. I think I just put the grain in with the barrel, don't I? So we're going to be making wheat whiskey, I guess it would be. Okay, so I got a full thing there. Is that it? No, that's not it. Do I need flour? I guess I'll try making some flour. If this doesn't work, I guess we can just make bread with it, but I'm pretty sure this will work. So if I go like that, and I go right up to it and grab the handle, let it spin, and boom, we've got wheat flour. 160, let's get it over to the barrel before it decays on me. Oh, I think I know the problem. I think I'm using too much. Let me try that. By the way, it might also be the grain, so let me try that as well. One way or the other, we're going to be getting some whiskey. Let me try the grain first. No. Let me try the flour. There we go. Okay. Good. That is good. Actually, I'm glad it was the flour because it's going to be a lot more versatile that way. So let me go make some more flour. I'm just going to make a shit ton of alcohol because why not? I mean, everything else is rotting away on me. The alcohol doesn't rot at all, and it actually, frankly, it's used to make vinegar ultimately, which is used to prevent other foods from spoiling. So I don't see any disadvantage of go ahead and processing all of that. Yeah, sure. I can't remember if I need 40 for a full barrel of water to make enough whiskey or what, but I guess we'll see. Okay. So I've got all this flour. Let's just finish making all this whiskey. And can I do 40? Can I get away with 40? Yes, I can. That's great. So what I really should do is actually change my proportions, I can make another barrel if I do this right. So, if I take these and get my knife out, I can make them into little 40. Yeah. Excellent. That's perfect. Okay. Oops. Ooh, that got cut. Okay, I better get going on this. 40. I hate how quickly everything gets decayed. You know, I actually got into the config files. By the way, this is something I alluded to earlier, but I didn't go into detail. I got into the config files, and I started messing around with them because we had to extend the length of the year, right? Oh, shoot. Okay, I guess I have to do that. And then I have to do that and take that and that. And I guess I'll do this. Okay, well, whatever. And then we'll take our 70 and cut that. And then we'll take one of these 10s. This is such a ridiculous thing that I have to do this. Like, the game should just not cause things to go bad when they're in your hand. Or you know, maybe like once a day, but not just constantly checking to see if things are rotting in your hand, because it really makes it hard to work with precise amounts of things. That's very annoying. Okay, but there we go. So that's going to be a whole bunch of whiskey. Now, what I can do with these lemons in the meantime, assuming they haven't, like, deteriorated completely. Get rid of those particles. Let me combine these, by the way, and, okay, that's not bad either. Let me just double check the ratio, but I'm pretty sure. So for vinegar, what you do is you go up to an alcohol barrel, and you put in a certain amount of fruit in with the barrel. And let me just find that. Okay, so it is for every 1,000 millibuckets of alcohol, there must be at least 10 ounces. So we need 100 to get the cider, for example, here to turn. So what we need is, I guess we'll have to do this. So that one actually right there all by itself will work, because that's pretty close. There's vinegar there, and then I'll do more cider, because cider just doesn't do it for me, you know. I'm reluctant to get rid of my vodka, because, you know, that's important, but the cider, I'm not as worried about. It's so easy to make, too. Although this year, because of the calendar thing that I did, we did not get a apple harvest. Okay, there's the vodka. Should I do it? And we'll just take that down to 70 and add that. And yes, I think I will do it. Sorry, vodka. No, I can't do it. I gotta leave the vodka. I'll just put the lemons away. We'll make more vinegar later with them. Same with the berries. I'll put the berries away. So, let me just, sorry, I had to check. So my best friend is flying back to Iowa, where I live, and his flight is about to leave, and so I was just checking to make sure he made his flight and everything, so I apologize for the pause there. All right. Ooh, shoot. I'm so bad with the cellar. Ooh, that was weird. Okay, I think I might be doing it wrong, because otherwise you'd think these things wouldn't rot so fast. Okay, so let's put some stuff away. Now, back to the Udary mod. Ooh, I didn't even get my copper going. God, I get so distracted. Okay, so do I have a vessel? No vessel yet. So I did make the mold for that copper dealio. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate this to give me about 8 to 10 ingots as well as 100 units for the mold. So let's think about this. I guess what we could do is we could do some sort of combination of the the regular nuggets and the rich ones and the medium. Sorry. Okay, my cat is like trying to. Cat. Okay, he was trying to eat my Taco John's. Okay, so the rich tetrahedrite, 10 of those would be 350. So if I think about it this way. Okay, so there's 10, 350. Ah, that particle effect. That's so annoying sometimes, you know? Okay, should be gone. Now, okay. So 350, 700, 1050. Do I have more? Oh, that's all the tetrahedrite I have? Okay. Well, if I did 1050 and I start using these 25s, that would be 1100. That would give me 10 nuggets plus, 10 ingots plus my one for the mold. That's exactly the right amount there. So that's 35 times 14. Let me just get a calculator out and do this, make sure. 14 times 35 is 490. And then 16 times 35 is 560. So that's 9, 10, 50, just like I said. 30, yeah, that makes sense. 1050 plus 50 is, yep, we're good. So, okay. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is fill this with the copper and get this going. And then I'm going to, I really should make 2 more things or something. Oh, the spindle. I almost forgot. So the spindle is just really easy. You just go like that. You get your clay spindle. And then I guess what I'll do is I'll, oh, what else could I do? Go ahead and put this in down here to fire. And then the other thing that I need is, should I do, I'll do a, either a vessel or a jug. I'm running low on vessels. Let's do a vessel. Okay. Perfect. So let's get that cooking. We've got plenty of straw, interestingly enough. And grab some wood. I really should keep a stockpile of wood over by my pet kilns. Although they will start to become less useful in the very near future. We'll just put it that way. I guess I'll use ash, something I haven't used for a pit kiln, because it's usually considered somewhat rare around here, but when I was making my charcoal, I think I used a lot of it, so, or I didn't use much of it, so it looks more plentiful by comparison, which is fine. I'm sure it is. Okay, there we go, and we'll get a torch on there. Okay, so while that's burning, assuming that catches there. Very nice. And now while that's burning, we can do a few things. I wonder if that's going to catch this tree on fire now that it's... I love this plum tree. It's still growing these stupid red apple leaves. Yeah, I really need to watch that fire on these leaves. That should be good enough to prevent it from spreading, but we'll see. Okay, so as that's going, let me just get into the next phase of this. So the easy thing you can do is just go like this. With charcoal, you just make a carbon rod, just like that with a knife. And you can use charcoal or regular coal. Okay, so we'll need the copper rod next, and then we'll need an anvil and flux. So in order to get flux, here's something I haven't covered yet. Flux we need for a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I did cover it a little bit. I put it in the lime water, but it's been a while since we've done that, so let's take a look. Marble rock. So take marble. Marble is one of several materials that this can be done with. And we're going to need a hammer anyway, so might as well just make a marble hammer real quick. I used my other hammer at the blacksmith for the anvil up there, which we're going to need here very soon. Make a hammer, and then use the hammer on the marble. And you just get a whole bunch of it like this. I'm going to take 32. by the way, that flux is so important for a whole bunch of stuff. And then we're going to go over to the area, our blacksmith area. I'm going to light the path along the way as well. Didn't need both of those. Okay, and if we go over here, I'll just light these right about like that is fine. And then we'll go over here. I'm not seeing any spawns yet, so that's good. Get that covered. Get that covered. Just kind of light up the area, light up the night. Okay, and our anvil. So I'm going to put these away. Getting a little carried away there with the... okay, so then what you do with the flux is you put it right here. Now, in crafting, flux is basically used to take carbon content out of stuff that you're working with. And that's in real life, I think. So what we need to do is we need to take a workable copper ingot into the anvil to get copper wire. That's the next item we're going to need. And truth be told, that is going to be something that is beyond our capability right now until we build a forge. So I guess maybe to finish out this episode, we'll just build the forge. How about? And we can do that now. So let's grab our pickaxe. Oops. And let's dig out a forge. So I'm going to get rid of this. I think I'm going to make this the forge chimney right here, which means that this can be... Let me just get on the wiki to make sure this is going to be acceptable. What you got to do is you got to place a hole, or I should say a 1x1 hole that is surrounded by 4 either cobblestone, bricks, or stone, or smooth stone on all 4 sides and underneath. And then the chimney can either be 1 away, 2 away, or it can have a bellows in the way. So what I can do is I can make these 2 spots the forge, but I'm going to just start with 1, and this is going to be the chimney, okay? And the bellow can go here or it can go here, and I do have that bellows, and I will put it there. But in order to actually just make the raw, down and dirty forge, all you got to do is take your charcoal, shift, right-click, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and boom. Actually, that right there, my friends, I believe qualifies as a forge. So I think I have to drop a torch in now. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I have to do. Or do I use a fire starter? I can't remember. The torch does not appear to be giving off particles. And I actually wonder if I need to mine that at all. Just be on the aesthetically pleasing side. Why don't we just do that? Okay, so this is kind of more typical of what people expect at a forge in this game. So I'm actually half tempted to move it up a level, but for now, let's just do this. Okay, so let me try the fire starter technique, see if that gives me what I need. Okay, there we go. Perfect. That is the texture you need for the forge. So what you do on the forge is you put charcoal in there. It automatically goes to the bottom. You can put up to 5, and that'll keep things burning. Now, the nice thing about the forge is as you put those charcoals in, you can kind of go like this, and you can put up to 5 cooking slots. And then you can take them out, and you can put them back, put the items back in that you want to turn into cooking things. And it's very nice. Now, and the other kind of cool mechanic about it is there's this like holding area over here, so you can kind of put some things in there. Now, I'm going to actually stick that right there because I really need to, I am going to go ahead and just do this because I might as well. I'm going to check my pit kiln because I don't want that thing to, I don't want my copper to solidify on me, but I only have so much time before my forge runs out of charcoal. It wouldn't be hard to relight, of course. It's actually not a big deal to relight that, but yeah, that's still going anyway. So let me just go over here quickly and grab an ingot. Okay, there we go. Copper ingot. And I'm going to make some copper wire. Let me check how long this has. 1 hour. Oh, 0 hours remaining. Okay, I'm actually going to wait. I'm just going to go over to the forge with my ingot in just a minute. So, can I make a sandwich real quick? Not the best sandwiches without meat, but they'll do. Okay. Back to full hunger there. And this should be any minute now. Any minute. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to just do this real quick. So I'm going to run over to my molds here. Ooh, you know what I could do? I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I bet you some of you out there were already thinking of this. I'm going to be making copper ingots anyway, so what I could do easily is simply get a copper ingot out before it cools down. Of course, then I wouldn't be teaching you how to use the forge, but I would be teaching you a related technique, which is important, so I guess I could do it. Okay, so let's head over to our blacksmith area here. And the forge is still going, that's great. Put another charcoal and just keep it going. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to do my mold, and this is the most important one, so we're just going to do copper rod, not bronze this time, copper. Good. That's a promising sign that it didn't change to the pink and black triangle. There's our copper rod. That's what we need. Here's a spindle handle, by the way. We're going to have to put another stick on that in a minute. So we have the copper rod. Now we need to use... Okay, I'm going to show you this on the forge. I'm going to put an ingot in the forge here, and you can see it says warming now, right? Now, I'm going to be accomplishing basically the same thing by doing this. I'm going to take my copper ingot here, and I better finish this out before I forget. But as you can see, this ingot is now very hot, and we'll keep looking at that. Where did I drop a thing? Yeah, it should be a nice even number. I must have dropped, yeah, here it is. Okay. And continue this. See, that's liquid. These ingots are all still liquid. But one of them is going to turn solid. And in the meantime, this is going the other direction. This is still very solid, but it's getting very hot. And there, now it's faint red. And actually, I'm going to take it off there. Put another charcoal in to keep the thing going. But eventually, we're basically doing the same thing from 2 different directions right now. These things are cooling, and they're getting to a workable solid state. Whereas the one that's in the forge here is solid, but I was getting up to moving it towards the liquid on the spectrum. Here, this is orange now, so that's workable. That's what we call workable. So now that that's workable, I really gotta finish these molds. Sorry, guys. I will get to that in just a minute. Let me just finish this copper out before it solidifies. Because I really need these copper ingots anyway. Okay. And 2 more. I feel so rewarded when I do this. It's not even funny. Okay, so that is all of the copper, so I don't have to worry about timing now. I just have to make sure that the entities don't despawn. I can go ahead and set that down. Can I set these down? No, but I could set you down. I could set these down. Oh, this is so time consuming. but it's fun. It feels very rewarding, like I said. No, it's not ready yet. That one's not ready yet. That one's not ready yet. That one's not ready yet. Okay. So we're gonna take a peek in here. Keep the forge going. Alright, I'm just gonna take that out. Because you get the idea, right? Like you would simply warm that up until it gets to the same types of things that we're seeing from our new ingots. Very hot, etc. This one's orange. That means it's workable. Oh man, some of these, they just cool down so slowly. Guess I can put these on the ground as well. And, okay, yellow, white. Okay, let's try now. White liquid. Yellow, white, liquid. Man, those are hot. Okay, some of our ingots are starting to stack. That's good. Okay, good. That's going to help. Okay, and then one more. I just need one more to stack. Okay, and there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I can let that forge die off. I'm going to take an ingot that's very hot still, but that's solid. So this one's orange. You see that? It says orange. I'm going to put it on here. Put it in here. Click on plans real quick. Plans. Why can't I click on plans? Do I have to have a copper ingot before I can... Oh, I see. I think I have to have a copper anvil before I can do this. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's completely fine. You know what? I can just... we'll just do it next episode. This is getting kind of long anyway, so... I'm going to start stacking my copper ingots. I have to get a different, more advanced type of anvil, guys, and I apologize for that. I did not realize that I cannot do any sort of advanced techniques on a stone anvil. So that's completely fine. We'll do that next time. We did get the the carbon rod and the copper rod, which are two very important things for the Udary mod. So we will be doing more about that next episode. But I think I'm going to just end it. Maybe I'll start moving some of this stuff over to the new blacksmithing area. Just so we can kind of keep stock of how much we have. But anyway, yeah, let's just do that real quick. And then I might as well grab these. Move them over there. I think I might also move the pit kiln over there as well. I don't know why this is taking forever to break. It's probably because I'm hungry. Oh, I swear if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, that works. And I will leave that there. Actually, I could use a drink. Okay, we'll put that there. Grab all of our lead. Grab all of our bronze. That is so cool. Hope I don't lose any from it flinging all over the place. 14, that's I think how much I had. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and just move it right across. All the leaves are changing now because it's December. Again, I skipped a couple months in the game because I messed with the config files to make the year longer, which had this retroactive effect I wasn't anticipating. So put the bronze up there. Put the lead over here. Oh, two more. And we'll put the copper right here, of course. One is still cooling. And that is our metal so far, but we're going to use all of this except for 2 to make a copper anvil. And then we'll use one of those to make wire. And then we're going to have one lonely copper ingot left. But that'll be next episode. So if you've been watching, thank you. Just remember, Professor Snuggles is looking out for you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Let's Play Terrafirmacraft.